Now, break it down. My pals, my friendos, my people. But no, I was trying different quality settings for this model, just to see, since I was having problems when I was playing Long Dark. I don't know how long I was having those problems, but I was definitely having problems. So I was just seeing, like, right now it's on high. I turned it down to very high the other day, but high looks pretty much the same as ultra to me. You can tell a slight difference, but you can actually tell the difference when it goes down to very low. I feel like far away, you can't really see the difference. But, I won't worry about it right now. Also, I saw the setting that I had that was making my hands go up. So I undid that. So I'm happy about that. Anyways, today I'm probably not going to play a video game. I'm going to focus on fully proofreading through this story and editing it. Well, proofreading it once and editing it once. That's all I really need though, right? But yeah, because I'm going to do that, I'm going to shrink this down a little bit. Bring you out. I don't want to stretch it too much. I'll just make it like that for now. I know most people probably don't care about seeing the actual content. I'm probably going to read some of this aloud anyway, or at least mutter to myself as I go through it. But having it on stream makes me get through it easier. I don't know how much of this I'm going to change and add to or edit and whatnot, but hopefully we can get through it okay. I'm gonna try and get through this before my D&D time and all that stuff. So hopefully we won't take that long, but I do read the whole thing, so it might take longer than I think. Me delaying won't help. Pale blue eyes, pale white eyes. We aren't that different, are we? Yet those blues are looking at hers, not mine. Yanaka, I don't know how to say her last name, was what many would call a natural beauty. A flower that had the right to boast her confidence. She was useful in ending the war when her father had fallen, as well as she is capable enough to run a flower shop. Oops. I just realized I had my, I did it again. I forgot I had my, my tablet thing on. I don't think that's picked up anyways, because it's too soft, but maybe it was. Sorry for the echo if that was heard. It bothers me, because my headphones are in, so then I'm just like, oh, why do I hear someone talking? Oh, it was me. I always forget to turn this down beforehand. What I really need to do is just have a mute button for like Twitch on my tablet, but whatever. Anyways, anyone calling natural beauty a flower that had the right to boast her confidence. She was useful in ending the war when her father had fallen. She was useful in ending the war when her father had fallen. In times of peace now, she keeps her worth by running a flower shop. A stable young woman with beautiful long blonde hair. She even had... I think I want to change the phrasing here. She even had an ample chest, unlike her washboard of a friend, Sakura. That's probably fine. What's so different? Why the heck is this kind of junk even bothering me? Even with all the things that should make her great, Nina could not help but see flaws or even go out of her way to find them. Like now, she stalks black-haired beauty Hinata Hyuga through the village hidden in the leaves. That's fine. It was not like she wanted to hurt Hinata, but after seeing her walk with Naruto, the hero of the war, and smiling happily, it just bothered me. Sighing against a wooden fence, Hina really could not say she felt like herself. Sakura going after Sasuke. Sai seemed nice, but I barely even talked to him. What sort of man should I even go after? Hinata likes Naruto, and she's been spending a lot of time with him now. Why doesn't Naruto look at me like he does her? Why doesn't Naruto look at me like he does her? That's fine. I don't know if someone would actually say that, but that sounds fine. Looking over her neatly polished fingernails, Ino's eyes try not to glance too heavily at Hinata walking by. What am I even doing right now? Do I just want attention because everyone seemed to find some partner right after the war? Feeling down on oneself because of lacking what others have is something common in a lot of people. Envy. It was another amazing day. Hinata, however, did not even know she was the focus of someone's envy. Smiling, waving off her boyfriend as he goes about the rest of his day. Why would Hinata even consider someone could be glaring at her from only a little ways away? Well then, what else did I need to finish today? Hinata's slightly glossed shine in the ever dimming light. The cute curled smile made those villagers passing by smile right on back. She was a woman for sure. Heels gently digging against the dirt path, her batwing purple top exposing her delicate shoulders and collarbone. Even as a young adult, Hinata's womanly charm. Even as a young adult, Hinata's woman. Even as a young adult, Hinata's womanly charm show. She knew them well to be her greatest. She knew them well to be one of her greatest assets. She was never really made to be a fighter, even with the effort, even if with effort. Even if with an effort, the effort. She was never really made to be a fighter, even if she could show skill with some effort. The long white skirt brushing against her legs with each step, her long black hair gently waving through the wind. She had the luck, she had the confidence from gaining Naruto by her side. Even if she didn't want to be a warrior, she would make sure to be a wonderful woman. A wonderful stereotypical woman. I should keep practicing my cooking more tonight. Maybe I should get some things from the market. Each step she took had a bounce to it. Her happiness was almost too apparent and infectious. Though to others, it was more like a searing sun. More like a blistering burn would probably work better. More like a blistering burn. Click, clack, click, clack. The slow beat of heeled shoes pressing against the stone. Against this? I said the stone, and I just wrote stone. The stone, and sometimes dirt. Ino kept following Hinata, closely watching all of her movements. What ingredients she would buy, how she would pivot on her heel timidly as if thinking of someone fondly. Why am I still following? It's getting later in the day. The passing of time never halted for anyone. A sobering thought for Ino, as each passing day was just a reminder that she had no one to give her love to, unlike love. I can get rid of it too. A sobering thought for Ino, as each passing day was just a reminder that she had no one to give her love, unlike those around her. Following Hinata, maybe part of her hoped to feel better about things, though even as night slowly started to overtake the orange dusk, Ino still felt the same. I need to stop this today. I'm starting to even creep myself out. I can get rid of here. Envying a princess, when just a lowly commoner. It seems only fitting, something that happens time and time again, yet you follow her, watch her. It's a wonder you have not been locked up for such audacity. I could say atrocity. When you follow her, watch her, it's a wonder you have not locked up for such. I don't know, atrocity might be better. Though that seems a bit more extreme. Such audacity. Yeah, audacity's fine. That's fine. The voice came to Ino's mind, just like a long-range communication jutsu. Oh no, my voice. Though it felt different somehow, like it was speaking directly to her very soul. Turning around, she sees no one. Looking up, no one. Trying to sense the point of origin with her own jutsu. Do I want to capitalize? Well, yeah, I guess. With her... I guess I don't need own there, because it's redundant. To sense the point of origin. Her jutsu proved fruitless as well. It kept directing her, at best, up. But the only thing above her was the moon. Who are you? Why? No. How are you even speaking to me? Princess. I've done nothing wrong. So what if I'm following Hinata? I'm not hurting anyone. Ino spoke within herself, and sure enough, a calm voice chuckles in response. The voice sounded like an elderly man, though the tone gave Ino a picture of someone still very powerful despite their age. Just the fact that they could completely hide themselves was off-putting. Do I not want that there? Just the fact that they could completely hide themselves was putting enough. I feel like themselves is fine. Because she doesn't know who she... I'm gonna say that's fine. I'm gonna say it's okay. So that means it's okay. Ow. Just the fact that they completely hide themselves, it's off-putting enough for someone like her who's supposed to specialize in matters of the soul.
Another foolish little son. Seems to have stumbled into matters beyond them. Listen closely. The girl you've been following is someone special. One that I wish you don't get involved with. Even if you say you're doing no harm. It is hard to say how well your heart can be trusted when coated in envy.
Hearing the words, Ina could only sigh in response. The voice in some ways was correct. If they are someone protecting Hinata, for whatever reason, suddenly having a stalker who's envious of her doesn't seem very good. I can understand the feeling somewhat, though still, even if I am envious, she's my friend. I wouldn't go out of my way to harm her. Was this bad?
Even if you say you were doing...
No, that's right. He's speaking formally, so you wanted to have that formal tone. No conjunctions and stuff, even though that he said don't. Maybe I should change that. I don't know. No, it's fine. Harm her. So really, leave me be. The only thing I want is for someone to... The only thing I want is for someone to love me. Stalking someone won't let me gain that, though. I know that much. I'm not stupid. Pausing for a few moments, Ina stares down at her hands and pushes her index fingers gently together. I could transfer my mind into hers if I really wanted to, and try to understand her better. Though... that's fine too.
Matters of the soul are far more complex than you may think. Though you desire love, I could offer you a way to truly feel what she feels. Honestly, it could work in my favor.
Please listen to the disembodied voice.
Though you'd have to promise me a favor in return. For you, this would not simply be teaching a lesson. For you, this would not be about simply For you, this would not be about simply teaching a
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I was just reading it weird. Just reading it weird, it's okay. Breathing slowly. Breathing slowly, Ina stares down the road. Yet again, Hinata's smiling. This time... Okay, never mind. This makes sense in context. I'm making sure I did this right, since I said Naruto left earlier, but this is supposed to be after. Read the whole thing first. Breathing slowly, Ina stares down the road. Yet again, Hinata's smiling, but this time in front of Naruto. The day had been moving along, and Hinata did end up making food to share. Her own homemade ramen. Her own... Her homemade ramen. The two were enjoying a simple dinner date. Side. Do I want own? I can just say her. Her homemade ramen. The two were enjoying a simple dinner date outside under the light of the moon. Teaching a lesson, huh? Teaching lesson. Huh. Are you teaching someone else a lesson? I don't need charity. If you want a favor, fine. I'll do anything you wish to provide. you wish, provided you promise me that I can have the love I desire. At this point, anyone would do. Maybe I need to be taught a lesson. Maybe I am someone that needs to be taught a lesson. Maybe I am someone that needs to be taught a lesson. Though I don't mind sounding selfish and petty.
Very well, young girl. I shall give you a scroll. Simply read it, and you'll gain the knowledge you seek. With your abilities on the soul already, you probably can find a more clever use of the ability. Though be mindful of the power. Know that this is not a gift. This is more like a curse. You're willingly taking it. I'm not doing this as a favor to you. I'm doing it to gain something myself. You may back out at any time, though as soon as you use the ability, you will no longer get that same chance. Thud.
Just thud. I think I'm making pretty good time so far. Maybe if I actually continuously read the thing, it's like I don't take as long as if I keep getting distracted mindlessly. A scroll falls right to Ino's feet. It seemed whatever power the voice speaking to Ino had was far beyond her communication skills. Teleportation and communication at the same time. Huh. Teleportation and communication at the same time. Huh. I suppose I can't doubt your skill. Picking up the scroll off the ground, Ino unfurls it and skims over the contents. A circle in the middle and writing on the sides. The circle seemed like a summoning circle, but a little different. Odd, just glancing over it, it seems like a far more advanced version of the mind transfer. So if I use it on Hanada, biting her bottom lip, furls the scroll back, and shoves it between her breasts, quickly jumping to the rooftops. She doesn't have pockets, so I wasn't sure what to do. I mean, I guess she has, like, well, no. They're not in times of war, so they wouldn't have the fanny packs, would they? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Well, disembodied voice, or whatever I should call you, I won't thank you, but I'm going to use this on Hanada. Though I'm guessing you want to ask for a favor because you knew I'd use it on Hanada. That's fine. Running across the rooftops, Ino jumps between them, her goal being to head back to her flower shop. Suppose you probably won't talk back to me till I finish. Or whatever that favor is needed. Or whenever that favor is needed. You're not very useful then. I'm just talking to myself now. Ino's feet dig back into the dirt. She made it to her flower shop nice and quick. The flowers out front of her shop seem to be in good condition still, just gently caressing their petals. Petal. Is it like A? T? I don't know. I feel like this is wrong. Hang on a second. Hang on. Flower, petal. Yeah, it is T-A-L. How did I mess that up? I'm pretty sure this happened the last time I was writing this part. Would it still be E-S, or is it just S? I think it's just S. Yeah, it's just S. That's what you get with dyslexia. Anyway. Shop seemed to be just gently caressing their petals put her mind at ease. The special flowers I've been growing in the greenhouse should do fine for my plan. Pushing open the shop door, Ina goes, goes in the back of the shop to the small greenhouse that currently is soaking in the moonlight. Flowers that bloom within the night. They aren't nightshade because they don't have poison. Yet they grow in the moons. Yet they grow in the light of the moon? Yeah, that's better. Yet they grow in the light of the moon so well. I suppose it is still is sunlight, just reflected. Moon tears. A somber flower indeed. Touching the moon tears. I can capitalize that, because it's the name of something. Touching the moon tear stem wavers. It wavers as if pulling away. Those glistening white... I did it again. Those glistening white petals shine like... reflecting the moon's light. Reflecting the light of the moon. A docile flower. I suppose in a way it reminds me of Hinata. Just giving it a small poke makes it think it'll be uprooted just like that. Twist yank. And then she actually uproots it right away. That's fine though. We like ironic humor. We all appreciate ironic humor here. The flower comes up from the dirt with the help of a trowel. Miss Daughter. Ino had no intention of uprooting it. Instead, it was placed safely inside of a small flower pot. Unfurling the scroll again, then across one of her empty greenhouse tables, Ino more carefully examines the contents. So I have to make the person accept the change. I take part of their body, so instead of switching places, I become Hinata. I wonder if it would affect my memories, looking over the Jitsu. It seems like it is more to assimilate others. Into yourself to make the ideal body. I suppose in theory memories could be taken. Many parts of the soul to try to reclaim the body. Could also twist someone's original desire. Or maybe give someone's desire to another. Adding this sentence helps for the ending I wrote. Then she takes Hinata's love for Naruto, more or less. Or maybe even give someone's desire to another. Biting at her lip for a few moments again, Ino shakes her head and lifts up. And lifts the potted plant into her arms. I think I know how to make her agree easily. But what should I do? Having her lose some sort of game would be the easiest thing. I could try something like that game me and Sakura used to play. Then again, I could probably be more creative than that. Slam. Nana's bedroom door closes with a loud thud, and she flumps is a real word, onto her bed, burying her face into her pillow. Huh. Ow. Naruto, he's so wonderful. I wonder if we can really hold hands like that again. It feels so naughty. Burying her face even deeper into her pillow, Hinata groans softly into it. Her cheeks red enough that her pillow felt like it was heated. I'm getting too excited. Calm down now. I'm overthinking so much. Maybe I should talk to Inabi about this. No. She would think less of me if she knew I was doing those sorts of things with a boy. Adulthood should be spoken with adults. Really was a... I can keep that. Hinata really was a girl, young and in love. Though her honeymoon phase was going out of control just from simple physical contact. At least Naruto enjoyed the ramen I prepared. If he likes my cooking enough, he wouldn't mind starting... Rolling over in her bed, Hinata now covers her face with her hands, trying her best not to dive too deeply into her unscrupulous thoughts. Maybe I need to go back out to get some air. It's good to show both of the viewpoints of the characters that you're going to destroy. Not that I'm going to destroy them, of course. It's already written, so, I mean, I already know what happens, but... The next page. Whoosh. The subtle air twirls around the dirt paths of the village, brushing against the slow running creek. The slow running creek, it even ripples against the water. Hino is happily on her way. Can I just say the? With the potted plant tucked neatly under her arm. The plan was formed in her mind. Now she only needed to enact it with the special star of said plan. Hinata wasn't home, but I suppose that works out better for me. Now, I just have to set this in the perfect place. Walking along further down the dirt road, Ino curves on the path over to a large tree nuzzled there all by its lonesome. Here will do. Digging up some of the dirt under the tree, Ino thrusts the flower into place, making sure it could take root right under the tree. All it took was a little medical jutsu to revive the flower a bit, making new roots form right away rather than needing to wait. Reviving fish that whole time. I never got to use my medical jutsu as much as Sakura, but it sure has its uses. Uses is fine. With the flower set in place, the moon tear begins to glow faintly as bits of moonlight hit against it. The shine, ironically enough, catches the attention of the aimlessly wandering Hinata. Well, guess I won't be hiding. Brushing a hand through her long blonde hair, Ina leans up against the tree and stares down to the flower to admire its beauty, as well as to wait for Hinata to come over. The timid girl slowly walks closer to the glowing flower in her sights. She could very well tell a person was there, but only as she stepped closer could she tell it was Ino standing there. Ino? Hello. Fumbling with her black hair between her fingers, Hinata quickly looks down to her feet, trying to not meet Ino's direct gaze. I didn't expect anyone to be out so late at night, let alone you, Ino. Did you come here to admire this flower too? The smile across Ino's lips seemed friendly to anyone on the outside, but she was only beaming at the fact that her plan was going as expected. Oh my, Hinata, to think you'd be out so late at night. Did you come out here to wait for your boyfriend? Lighting up like a lantern, Hinata buries her face into both of her hands. I can just say palms. into her palms, her words becoming a jumbled mess as she speaks into her. As she speaks muffled. Her words becoming a jumbled mess as she speaks muffled. No, it's not like that. I just, Sighing to herself, Ina shakes her head in disapproval. She usually did not put up with Hinata's over-the-top shyness already, so at least her acting now would seem more earnest. Oh, come on, Hinata. You know I'm just teasing. Ina throws her arm over Hinata's shoulder and bumps her hip against Hinata's own. Poor shy girl could only quiver in response, unsure of how to react. But Ina wanted to make sure she was uncomfortable. But Ina's objective was to make sure she was uncomfortable anyway. You really just wanted some air or something, right? I think if I walked past a moon tear, I'd be hypnotized by its beauty too. Oh, no space there. Well, of course. That's why I'm here now. I've always wanted to find one so I can grow one myself. Slowly lowering her hands, Hinata peeks up at Ino and then back down to the moon tear. It really is beautiful. I wouldn't mind having one for myself. I could probably make something nice with it. With a bruise to her lips. Ino gives a small squeeze to Hinata's shoulder. Well then, how about we play a little game for the flower? I think you'd probably want it. And I could just let you have it, but I mean, it's nighttime and we're both wandering around. We may as well pass the time with a little bet, right? Almost receding into her jacket, it was clear that Hinata was unsure how to respond. Ino, what do you mean? Twirling a finger around a strand of her hair, Hinata finally was speaking. A little, just a little. More clear. I mean, it's pretty late, but I wouldn't want to take away a chance like this from you. And if you got one, I'm sure great florists like you could grow a lot more, and then I could just buy one from you. Rolling her eyes, Ina lets go of Hinata's shoulder and takes a few steps back, gesturing to the flower. I don't need this. I can always find another one. Also, I think you would want this. I heard it's Naruto's favorite flower. It's something that he likes to leave for the little shrine he made for his mom a bit ago. If you gave something like this to him, I'm sure you'd be grateful. Just gotta gaslight them to reel them in. With a suddenly slight fire in her eyes. Suddenly slight. Hinata beams, still shyly somehow. Really? Her words still stuttering out of her lips despite some motivation to them, Hinata gazes at the flower with desire. How about this? Win or lose. If I lose and you grow the flower yourself, you'll let me know first and I'll buy. Poking her fingers together nervously, Hinata tries her best to keep herself calm as she nods to herself. And, if I lose, you can add your own condition. Your own condition or something. I wouldn't want you to not get anything out of this. A grin on her face, Ina pivots around on her heel and gestures to a small table with stone chairs a bit ways away from the tree. The village had a few spots like this for those enjoying their days. Though usually used for kids or elderly, or the elderly to play board games, it was a suitable spot for what Eno had in mind. That sounds fair. Come on over here and sit. We have some time to kill anyway. The flower has to stop glowing for us to take it properly. Eno and Hinata both look at the sky, seeing the moon shining brightly above. It did seem clouds were starting to form in places, but it would be some time before the moon's glow was fully blocked out. Seems like we'll be able to go a few rounds. We can use the flower as a timer, more or less. We'll play a simple game with some cards. I brought some along. Each time I win, I get to be more like you. And you can be more like me. That'll be my condition. Of course, at the end of the whole game, one of us gets the flower with your conditions. Sitting down on the stone seat, Hinata brushes some of her hair from her eyes and stares off confused. You get to become more like me? What? Why would you want something like that? It seems like an odd bet, right? I mean, sitting down. Herself, Eno slams a deck of cards down onto the table. Nonsense. I want to be more like you. I'm not very great, Hinata, and I mean, if you were more like me, you wouldn't be as shy. It doesn't sound like such a bad deal, does it? Rubbing the side of her cheek, Eno closes her eyes for a moment, trying to think up the easiest way to get Hinata to agree to the bet, without telling her the actual effects. It's just for fun. When one of us loses a round, I'll use some transformation jutsu is all. Me and Sakura played this game all the time when we were younger. Sighing convincingly, Eno shakes her head in disappointment once more. Come on, Hinata. Do you really not know this game? You never hung out with other girls very much, did you? Wait, why would I make you say that, though? Seems like an I mean, I don't even know what card game you're talking about. Okay, that fixes that. I think I just forgot to add a part like that. I don't know. Oh. I mean, I guess I'm kind of making money for... maybe. I'm just proofreading the story that I finished the other day. Proofreading and editing it. So, I mean, when I get this one done, then I can work on another story. And that's more money, I guess. Actually, have you seen me using the VTuber thing yet? I don't remember. I forget if you hopped in for like a second when I was doing this. Either way, hi. Now back to reading my smut trash. Placing her hands on the table, Hinata looks to Eno and waiting. Well, just explain things quickly if it's easy, and we may begin. Slap. Eno slaps a deck of cards. Wait, I think I did this wrong. Eno slaps the deck. slaps the deck of cards and glares to Hinata. Alright, here you are. Would you like to shuffle? Yeah, that works. Pokemon cards? I mean, maybe? I don't know. Did I use this when I was playing Pokemon cards? I think I did. Maybe. I think I did like 2 streams with Pokemon cards, or Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something. And then I switched to Long Dark for several days in a row now, while I was writing. I think that's right. Shaking her head quickly, Hinata gently pushes the stacked deck back across the table. Well, actually, Yuna slaps the deck. Okay, there we go. That's better. Shaking her head quietly, Hinata gently pushes the stacked deck back across the table. No, I couldn't possibly. I'm not that great with this sort of thing. And then Naruto comes in with a 12-inch... No. He slaps his Blue Eyes White Dragon on the card. I've never seen one that big before. There are only 4 in existence, my dear. And now there's only 3. Rips up card. And then Grandpa tapes it back together and slaps it back on, and... and then Kaiba later makes his own dual monsters anyways, and makes like 20 different Blue Eyes cards. There was only 3 Blue Eyes in existence, but I have all these other Blue Eyes that I made to support my Blue Eyes. It's not cheating if I made the cards myself, right? What a jerk. You've been thinking about Grandpa's Blue Eyes, haven't you? Only a little bit. I sometimes think about it when I'm sleeping. Yeah, something that you wouldn't know is when I sometimes don't know what to do for some of these stories where people transform and stuff, I end up making crappy card games because it's easy enough to do, and I make the characters play the crappy card game. Though usually I steal like the card game from another game or anime or something. Like one time I stole a card game that was from the anime Kaiji. I think I've just done straight Yu-Gi-Oh! Before and won. Yeah, the card game in this, well actually I think I have her read the rules anyways. Shrugging her shoulders, Ina grabs the deck and the cards fly into her other palm. With a small flick of the wrist, the cards shoot between Ina's other palm then. I know a few things about cards. I like to mess around with the cards I pack in flowers. Waiting for customers can get boring sometimes, after all. Placing the deck back to the table, Ina slides the cards across the table and uses just one card to flip over all the cards laid out. She then waves her hand over them to mix them up and puts them back into a line to reflip, and then repeat the process, making sure the order was good and random. Because that's how you do it. Though the reality, of course, was Ina had each of the cards marked carefully to know what they were. This was the deck she used against Sakura normally, after all. So, you know, cheating had to have happened. Alright, here we are. Setting the deck down. In the middle of the table, Ina grabs 4 cards from the deck, making sure to not look at them, as she places one card in front of her, Hinata, and then the last 2 cards on the left and right side, respectively. So the game is simple. We place down 4 cards, then you flip one card, and we see what it is. If the card is A king, queen, or jack, you win that card. If the card is a number, then nothing happens, it's just tossed out of the card pool. Then I flip a card and the same thing happens. When all 4 cards are off the playing field, we reset by playing another 4 cards and setting them face down. There's only 13 rounds possible since a deck is 52 cards. We probably won't do that many rounds, but who knows? There are. Pulling another 4, sure. Capital J. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, that's my basic baby card game for this. Before we lessly embrace each other, can I interest you in a game of Go Fetch? I don't know if I need to make that many puns. It's funny since this is one of the ones that's like more torture filled than this isn't really sexual as it is torture, unless the person gets off on torture, which I guess then it's sexual. I don't know. It's kind of normal, like all things considered. This is a pretty normal story. I think the story that I'm gonna write after this one's probably a bit more risky, maybe. A little more risky. I guess it depends how much risk you risk or something. Hinata slowly nods, taking in the rules. Even if it was rather simple, she never exactly went around playing card games like some sort of scrub. Even her little sister did not. No conjunction. Did not usually play card games with her after all. Alright, so both of us could have a round where nothing happens, or one round could have both of us lose twice. I more or less understand. I win if I get a face card, you lose if I get one. So the real goal is to hopefully have less rounds. They're speaking, so they can be informal. Since then you would lose less. Or I suppose someone could have gotten lucky and pulled more face cards. With a reaffirming nod. A reaffirming powerful nod. Ina reaches across the table and grabs onto Nanada's hand, guiding it over to the cards. Yes, Hinata, place your hand on my deck. No, I didn't write that. That was just me being dumb. I assume if you pay someone to make a torture story, it means you have to get off on it a little at least. You would think, but I mean, I don't know what people are into, you know? I mean, I feel like sometimes people just want to see, like, what would happen if these characters interact in this way. They like to imagine that. At least that's what happens with a lot of fan fiction. Of course, I assume since the person told me specifically to include certain things, yeah, maybe. I try not to think about it too much. Yes, now pick a card, any card. Well, besides the deck, obviously. I shouldn't say that. I should say... well... just one. Well, just one card from the top of the deck, obviously. Slam! Wait, no. I don't want it like that. She's picking one of the 4 cards. Well, one of the 4 cards laying face down. Obviously. Okay, yeah. That... Lying? Lying. Lying face down? Yeah. That makes more sense. I find having a big deck means I have all the answers you need. Rule 703.b states nerd gibberish. Well, you know, stuff. Anyways. Slam. Eno grins, quickly flipping over. Wait, what? Oh, I skipped. I skipped one. Hinata grabs the card to her left and flips it right over. The card shines faintly in the moonlight. A nice 6 of clubs showing. Oh. I suppose I lost then. Nana carefully picks up the card and sets it to the edge of the table so it doesn't get in the way. So now you flip one, correct? Slam. Eno grins, quickly flipping over the card directly in front of her. She sadly gets an ace of hearts. Though, sometimes counted as a face card, Eno only counted cards with actual faces herself. Well, seems this first round is a bit uneventful. Eno's eyes glance. Eno's eyes glance. Do I want quickly there? Quickly to the card to her left. I feel like quickly puts more severity to it, though. Eno's eyes glance quickly to the card to her left. She could tell by her special chakra marker that the card was a King of Hearts. Yeah, I think I can keep that there. I can keep that there. Anyway. Flipping over the card, Eno's eyes. Eno was eyeing finally... Wait, what? Flipping over the card, Eno was eyeing Hinata. Flipping over the card Eno was eyeing. Oh, I just need... Oops. I just need a semicolon. Hinata finally gets... Hinata gives. Look, I actually got a face card. It's the King of Hearts. From the hit series, Gundam G. So that means I win this match, right? Sighing softly, to feign her loss, Eno nods. Yes, Hinata, you win. Now, what would you like? We're betting our bodies here. Stare at each other. Eyebrow wiggle. Taking out a sheet of paper. From parts unknown, Eno gently lays it out. It was a paper she prepared beforehand, with the special circle already made on it from the jitsu that mysterious voice had given to her. The effect of the jitsu will last a bit, but just flick a little of your blood like so. Eno bites the side of her thumb, holds it over the circle, letting her blood drop right onto the paper. She then quickly heals the teeny cut with her chakra. I'll heal you quickly, so don't worry over the cut. Nothing like a blood contract to make friends. That's what my mom always said. Let's see. Hinata a bit hesitant. Spell correctly. Bites at her thumb. Alright. She already agreed to the card game, so she did feel some obligation to go along with things. Her blood drops right onto the circle along with Ina's. The two droplets, gently mixing up together, appear to faintly glow. Now, I mean, my eyes never been that special, so I think it would be interesting to see how I look with different colored eyes. Yours are somewhat like mine, you know, but they have more color. Ting. Maybe I should go get out my tuning fork to make a tinging sound. Ting. The circle responds to the request with a faint red glow cascading off the moonlight. Hinata winces right away, startled by the odd pain in her eyes. Hina follows suit. A shiver runs up her spine from the splitting pain in her eyes. It felt like some sort of bad migraine. All she could do was squeeze her eyelids shut, but even that did not relieve any of the pain. Ina squeezes. Her palm against her face quickly and starts to channel her chakra through her palm. I can just say that. Though the pain just felt like it was filling her more. Damn it. Part of her just wanted to rip her eyeballs out, but it honestly felt like they already had been ripped out. Hinata, on the other hand, was seemingly calm. Her eyes were bothering her, but the sound of... Her eyes were bothering her by the sound of the movements she was making, but... Do I want to change the wording to this? Her eyes were bothering her by... We're bothering her. Grounds. Like, you know, grunting and sniveling. What's going on, you know? This feels very strange. Yeah, okay, that works better. However, on the other hand, Hinata, on the other hand, was seemingly calm. Her eyes were bothering her given her subtle groans. However, unlike Ino, she was not grunting and sniveling. What's going on, Ino? This feels very strange. Yeah, that's fine. Trying to wring her voice back, and Ino relents her mistake. It seemed her medical jutsu was relieving Hinata's pain instead of her own. Just how literal was the swap, was all Ina could wonder. Still, she was a trained ninja ready for combat, gritting her teeth, dragging her fingers into her side. The pain slowly, surely, does go away. Panting softly, Ina does her best to control her breath again, then slowly flutters those eyelids back open and... Jeez. I just messed up a little. Don't worry about it, Hinata. Ina could tell the change already without having to see Hinata's face, the eyes in Ina's eye sockets. Right now, we're the Hyuga clan's special brand, without knowing the ocular power proper. She was accidentally using it. Huh. So this is how it's like, Hinata. Come on, you can open your eyes now. Come on, you can open your eyes. Blinking her eyes. Ina does manage to turn her powers off. Though if the pain or the changes happen like this again. Though if the pain or the changes happen like this again, she would need to channel chakra into both her and Hinata to make it easier on them. Hinata tentatively opens her new pale blue-green eyes and stares right into Ina's pale white ones. Wow, you look a bit different with those eyes. Hinata puts a finger to her lips, staring inquisitively at Ina. It felt odd to see someone with blonde hair having eyes only the Hyuga clan has. I think it would probably be best to not pretend to have those eyes too long. You wouldn't want people to suspect you stole one of our members' eyes. Okay. A lot happens in this one. But we're going down the list. We're going down. At page 22 now. Getting to page 30. Slowly but surely. The comment lingers, but Ina decides not to prattle on that topic. Rather, she gets flipping her next card. Then Hinata does the same. There is no face to either of the cards, so Hinata and Ina toss it into the discard pool. The next round then began, with Hinata setting out 4 cards this time. For Ina, the process was a bit dull since, seemed to be placing the cards down a tad too carefully, as if she was afraid to bend them. Okay, no, I need to change the Hinata. There we go. Hinata's the one placing them down. For Ina, the process was a bit dull, since Hinata seemed to be placing the cards down a tad too carefully, as if she was afraid to bend them. Hinata, sighing, squeezes at the bridge of her nose and sinks into her stone stool. Come on, you're taking too long. Just flip your card first, alright? 2 is an also 2. There's no face to either of the cards, so Hinata, toss it into. Okay, there's space there, didn't want that. And then another slap. Hinata does as told, though she flips the card she had been fiddling with rather than picking a different one. This card shows just a normal number card, a 2 of hearts. Again, it was nothing worthwhile, so Hinata just sighs softly and puts the card in the discard pool. There, I flipped it. Your movie now. Sorry that it took a while. Right away, Ina rolls her eyes and yanks a card from the table, flipping it right over. Don't care. Let us leave. Let's just play right. Don't need right there. Let's just play. Let's just play. In front of Ino, another number rests. This time, the 6 of clubs. Heh. Seems we're both getting duds. Your move, Green Eyes. Again, another card flips over and slams against the table. Though just as the first 2, only a number card was waiting. This time the 8 of spades. Oh, well, I guess I'm not so lucky. That seems to be normal for me, so I suppose... For me, I suppose. Your turn. and slam again. With a smirk on her lips, comma. Ina flips over the face card. She was trying her best to lure Hinata into flipping only numbers this round, and it seemed to work rather well. The Queen of Spades was now in front of Ino. A queen just from me. Well, seems fitting enough. I suppose I can take what I want now, huh? Hinata rubs the back of her neck nervously, but as her usual. Rubs the back of her neck nervously, but it was her usual habit. But it was her habit. The poor shy girl could not know what Ino was thinking. Ino was already eyeing her target, though. That long, flowing black hair, being a blonde, made Ino stand out, but often it had troubles. Even if she took pride in it, her hair color could never really change that much beyond... Her hair color could never really change that much beyond transformation jutsus. I think that lovely hair of yours would be a prize, Hinata. It seems fitting enough reward for someone like me. I think if we changed up the hairstyle a little, you could do a few cute things with it, really. Ting. Bring out the tuning fork again. It's tinging. Ting, ting. 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 Ting-a-ling. I don't know. The circle once again gives a faint glow, summoning back that odd force. And not slowly but surely becomes painfully aware of all of her follicles. It felt like her head was thrown into a steaming hot water, but only at her scalp. What? Not have wanted to scream out, but the pain was just so jolting that only a groan manages to escape past her lips. Whimpering, she holds at her head and strands, yeah. And strands of her hair begin to drift out. It was like a light breeze had come to take leaves, but instead, we're taking strands on us. Hair. Even attached. It was like a light breeze had come to take leaves, but instead, we're taking strands of Hinata's hair like they weren't even attached. We're not. Ino watches a bit amazed at first, but she too was starting to feel her scalp give her troubles. In Ino's case, her hair seemed to be falling out in clumps. Since she had hers a little bit longer than Hinata's own, that length scattered around Ino's stool, like she just got her haircut at a salon. This crap really is pain, isn't it? Ino speaks to the void, knowing her moon friend probably would not respond, even with her medical jutsu. It was hard to make such constant pain just ease. More so since she wasn't exactly a master at medical techniques. Like Sakura. With each strand of hair plucked, it felt like yet another needle was being stabbed into Ino's scalp. She wanted to itch at it now. She knew that would just make it worse. Digging her nails into the sides of her arms was the most she could do beyond the jutsu she was already using to lessen Hinata's and her own pain. And her pain. Of course, she had to focus on Hinata's more so she did not run away. Gotta rip your hair out now and again, right? Just now and again. Every so often. Boo-doop boop ba-doo-noo. Huh. Okay. The blend of the changes happened first to Hinata. Her hair was clumped. Her hair was a clumped up mess with parts of her scalp showing bald. Normally, many would shout in concern, though Hinata touched a finger to her head. Something was there. New, small, silky hairs were budding from her head. Like a lightning bolt traveling along her spine, the new hair shoot from Hinata's head, making her wobble back in her seat. Beautiful blonde locks begin to fill Hinata's head. The strands of black that were still left over simply fall to the ground once met with the new silky strands. It was like Hinata had just come out from a bath and had her hair air-dried. For the bits of pain she was going through, though, through now, it felt like she was having an instant spa day. Oh my! Hinata touches a few locks of the new hair on her head. The silky strands twirl around her finger like with a mind of their own. This hair feels so real, so full of life. Is this even... Maybe Naruto would like it. Maybe Naruto would like it. Hinata I haven't even been talking that much. Hinata mumbles and pokes at the hair, forgetting those moments of pain in an instant. Ino, on the other hand, was not faring so well. Her blonde hair had all fallen off now. Her head shining a bit Her head shining. In the moonlight. Only as the hair growth effect begins to work on her as well, the pain felt far greater. She could not dull it enough. Concentrating on suppressing pain for two was just too much of a hassle for her. Damn it. Cursing at herself solved nothing, but she wanted to scream at this point. Those subtle strands of black sprout from her head, but the process felt so painfully slow. It was like each second another nail. It was like each second was another nail being shoved into her head and slowly torn down her skin. Was this how the jutsu was really supposed to go? She was told she would be using it out of... Well, she was told she'd be using it out of selfish... out of a selfish desire, among other things. But the after effects seem so cruel. Come on, just end already. Ino's shout was enough to startle Hinata. Her confused look makes it clear she does not understand why Ino is in such pain. Still, even through the shouts and gritted teeth, seeing those ebony locks fall against her shoulders made Ino feel at ease. She took another thing away from Hinata. She won. She won something. Yeah, I just messed up, little Hinata. Don't worry. Ino wipes some drool from her lips and brushes the new black hair on her head back over her shoulder. The same length as Hinata had. The same color. Same length as Hinata had. Same color, the same care. Though Ino wanted more things from Hinata still. Composing herself was simple enough now that constant pain had subsided. Slow breath, Ino smiled softly at Hinata like nothing wrong had happened. It was just a normal girl's night again. You really do have lovely hair. Oh, of course I have lovely hair too. I see you're enjoying it, Hinata. Nothing wrong. Nothing is wrong. This is okay. This is fine now. This is okay. It's all okay. We're all safe. I like how my head leans back for the model when I drink my water. My back kinda hurts. It is important to sit up straight. Or at least try to. Been over hour and 30. We're on page 24. So we don't have that many left. Just gotta keep up the pace. Take my time, read it aloud, find mistakes, edit where editing is needed. Equipped with Ino's hair on her head. Now, Hinata could not help but start playing with it. Twirling her finger around it, enjoying the bit of extra length that came with it. Yes, I mean, I wonder how... Look right now. I bet your hair feels... but your hair feels really nice. It's a bit embarrassing, but it's kind of fun. This person talking, so they would use conjunctions. Though Hinata rubs the back of her head and then plops her hands into her lap, looking at Ino a bit sternly. Should we really go on to the third round? You seemed to be in a bit of pain just a few moments ago. Ino takes it upon herself to set out the next batch of cards. She does her best to make sure to not have any awkward gestures and a way to reassure Hinata that everything was completely fine and normal, and no underhanded plans were being enacted. The gullible Hinata seemed eager to accept the lie as truth. Anyway, so everything was still going according to plan. Ino now only had to think of what to target next. How generalized could she make the request? If she just said Hinata herself, would it swap all of Hinata? Well, we'll start the next round now. Nothing to worry about. Like I said, I just made a little mistake. I'm a medical ninja too, though, remember? Even if I'm not the best, I can correct those mistakes. Pain wasn't even that bad. It was just hard to hold back my voice. With the war done, I hadn't exactly gotten hurt in a while. Things had all seemed to settle now. Nada relaxes in her stone seat and twirls finger around her new blonde hair, carefully watching the slowly drifting clouds blot out the moon now and again. I wonder how many rounds we'll have left. Well, should I start again, or we really should... we never really said how starting a round should go. Then slam to get you. Got a slam. Now you're in the jam. Next target should decide. She decided on was going. Next target she decided on was going for the face. Maybe just making a generalizing. Maybe just generalizing would give her all the features of that aspect rather than just one. Oh wait, I didn't read that part yet. Slam. Taking the card directly in front of her, Ina slams the car. Yeah, slams the whole entire car that is randomly there now. Slams the card right down, revealing another number card. At this point, Ina barely cared to keep track of what was what. Not that I wanted to keep track either. Her goal now was simply getting the things she desired after seeing the results this far. The next target she decided on was going for the face. Maybe just generalizing would give her all the features of that aspect rather than just one. If it gave her back her original hair, then at the very least served as a means to experiment with how far the language of the Jitsu would go. Okay, that is right. There, it was nothing. Your turn, Hinata. Slam. Flipping over the card directly in front of herself now, Hinata stares. Add another number. Huh, it seems like these last 2 rounds haven't been very eventful. Hinata gives another brush of her hand through her hair. The amount of her fidgeting was all the more with the new blonde locks. Slam. That's 3, yeah. Not letting these changes distract her, Ina slams the card to her left over. To her left. Ina flips the card to her left. Left and grins. She was waiting for it, the next face card. Still, she did not want to pull the face card first turn. It was like a test. It was like a school test. She had to switch up the answers a little bit to look convincing. That is what Shikamaru always did when he did not find an answer. The King of Clubs is here to serve me, it seems. Guess I got a bit of luck again. 2 face cards and 2 rounds for me. Well anyway. Staring at Ina in a bit of awe, Hinata stands up from her seat, rubbing in her eyes. Huh? It really is another face card. I never would have thought it would come up again so soon after... I guess the chances aren't that slim, but still... Well, Hinata tries best to relax. Though her anxious question was rather obvious. What exactly do you want from me now? Crossing her arms under her chest, Ina leans back in her seat. Well, I think your face is rather beautiful, don't you? I mean, she's saying it as a statement, so I guess I don't need to say it as a question. A lot of boys do seem to enjoy it, don't they? I have your hair. I got your eyes. Why not just the whole face as well? Right? Ting. You got mail. Just responding to a friend really quick on Discord. Like 5 more pages. Hinata drops to her knees, her hand clenching at her face right away. The glowing circle was making her skin feel like it was burning from the inside somehow. Dragging her nails against her skin, flakes, and then clumps of flesh begin to drip. Drip, droop, and plop onto the ground. The muscles to her flesh slowly reveal itself. The red flesh, though, looked like it almost had pus covering it. Hinata tries to gasp, but it felt like no air was even traveling between her lips, or at least what was left of her lips. With a spitting motion, Hinata spews teeth into the pile of flesh and pus at her feet. No teeth, no skin covering her face, no lips to properly form words with her tongue. It felt like something that would happen nightmare, but it was happening in reality right now. Hinata wanted to scream, but she really could not even manage that. Still, the whole process only happened in a few seconds. Maybe because of how horrifying the process was, it made it seem longer. Longer, though something was changing in her. Something was changing in her. It was just like how the hair grew from her, how her eyes felt. The pus and leftover skin on Hinata's red-muscled flesh begins to bubble and reform into a new skin. In a way, not feeling pain from the whole process is what made Hinata more uncomfortable. I guess I can just leave it as again. Feeling something bubbling on her face made her just want to scratch at it. Though once touching her face again, the new skin had already reformed. It felt like she had never even lost it to begin with. Brushing her fingertips slowly against her new skin, it did feel slightly foreign compared to her usual skin. Having taken care of it for years, Hinata could tell pretty easily. The skin on her face was not treated with the same products or care. In a way, it felt like it was a bit smoother than her original skin. So Hinata brushes her fingers against her pale pink lips, carefully making sure she could actually speak. She could speak properly. This is really your face? Hinata tugs a tad at her top, looking down at her chest. Surely enough, the skin at her neck, though a bit awkward to see, did seem a slightly different shade. Even if Hinata and Ino both were rather pale, it was clear enough they were different people. Wow, it's so odd to see. The lisp in Hinata's voice begins to quiver out. The teeth start to reform in her mouth, one after another. Imperfections and all. Ino's teeth were now Hinata's as well. Not only could she speak again, but she could also do it without. Awkwardly sucking her lips now. Good. that whole process was a bit much. Splort. Ah. I feel like speaking this much is hurting my throat somehow, even though that I'm not even speaking that much. Almost at the half. Well, I guess 26 would kind of be the halfway mark. Maybe. I don't know. No, stop hitting that. Don't do that. Go back. I accidentally opened something I wasn't supposed to. No. At least I noticed what the hand thing was. Yeah, when I'm just doing this, I can actually have my other thing up, huh? Didn't think about that. Okay, there we go. I was just thinking I can just have my stream display actually up on my computer, because I'm not doing anything taxing anyway. I might as well have it up there. Just on the off chance something explodes. Anyway, Splort. I picture like a... like that kind of sound. Once again, both girls had suffered the same treatment, though also once again, Ina was suffering far worse due to her focusing her chakra on Hanada. Her skin peeling off, her teeth clattering and mushing into the shedded flesh. Shredded? Yeah, sure. Shredded flesh. Ina did not just want to vomit, she actively was. Though she was only coughing up stomach acid, grabbing at her skin with her fingernails. She keeps chipping away more and more. It was like when someone had horrible dandruff. More and more flaking skin drops. The burning, the tingling, the itching within her skin. Ina wanted it gone from her as soon as possible. Groan, moan, quiver, shake, cough up more spit and drool. Ina's lips fall off like paper. The last of her teeth roll out from her mouth like someone slammed a ball too hard to her face. You have to be very descriptive. Was all the pain really worth it? At this point, Ina felt like if she did not take everything from Hanada, there would be no reason to no reason for anything she had done so far. So of course all the pain was worth it then. Screaming into the void, feels new lips reforming to her face, falling out of her seat and, grabs at the dirt under her, trying to give herself something to brace the pain. Teeth reform in her mouth and the bone in her body altering ever so slightly, though. Ever so slightly. Felt like it was... The bone in her body altering ever so slightly felt like it was grinding itself together to fit perfectly in Ino's mouth. Skin bubbles just like it had for Hinata, slowly reforming to that deeper pale Hinata had. The girls really had swapped faces now, complete with eyes, hair, mouth, nose, cheeks, and ears. If no one had looked at the girls' skin or of their lower halves, it would just seem like Ino was wearing Hinata's clothes, and vice versa. Grabbing at her legs, Ino does her best to stabilize the pain within her. With the change done, it did not take long for her to catch her breath. Our voices, we still sound normal, but it looks like we swapped clothes, with a faint chuckle. Ino wipes her lips, spit, and while wobbling manages to pull herself back into her stone seat. The clouds slowly blot out more of the moon, as Hinata had pointed out earlier. They most likely had a few rounds left. Most likely. They most likely had about one round left. Getting settled back in her own seat, Hinata stares through her old eyes. It was like looking in a mirror now. Only the mirror was Kaiba Man. No. Was not reflecting back. It really did feel odd. All the details were correct to an uncomfortable level. Are we done with the game then? Part of Hinata really did not care to go on much longer. She probably already lost her chance at the flower anyway. I really don't see much sense in going another round, right? Just like before, is about to grab at the cards on the deck, but then stops herself, shaking her head. Why did I do a slam? What are you doing?
The phone is it's not working right. I'm seeing if you got it plugged.
Sorry about that. They couldn't get the phone to work for some reason. Anyway. Only have a few hours left for this, so I want to focus on this. Where were we? The clouds blot out more of the moon. Sonata. Let's prove that. I think I just read this, right? Okay, premature slam. Just like before, you know? Ian's about to grab cards on top of the deck and stops herself, shaking her head. Just flip over the last card and let's go. Still got a bit to go. Still got a bit to go. Still have time to play more. Still have time to play more. Now slam. A little startled, nervously twirls a finger and her hair and sheepishly grabbing at the card to her side. Starting right. Once again, a face card. Face card. A Jack of Clubs winks its eyes to the girl, letting Hanana pick a target of choice. Of change once again. Okay, so let me just make sure this is correct, since I had to change a bit. A little startled, Hanana nervously twirls a finger around her hair, sheepishly grabbing at the card to her side and flipping it over. Though for Hanada, the card revealed is once again a face card. A Jack of Clubs winks its eyes to the girl, letting Hanada pick the target of change once again. Oh. 2 in a row. That was 2 in a row was that first time. And 2. Can I really? Can I really ask for anything else? Well, we've both sort of swapped a bit already, right? Rolling her eyes to the shy girl's comments. Ina shifts her head a bit. No, shifts her hands a bit, weaving a few hand signs under the table. Then cupping her hands together to make a hole to see through, she mutters under her breath, Mind Sway Jutsu. Hinata's eyes shine for a moment, but beyond that, she stares at the cards and then Ino in wonder. Oh, Hinata. Ino laughs loudly, slapping at the table a few times. Surely you want some things from me, right? I mean, just look at our bodies, right? Chest, arms, legs, shoulders. Be creative. It could even be something like our voices, after all. Nodding slowly, Yanada touches her fingers to her throat and closes her eyes. You're right. My voice. I want your voice, The vocal cord parasite is a parasite that takes vocal cords and stuff. Ting. The glowing symbol responds once again. Is already preparing for more medical jutsu to stabilize any pain that may come. Changing vocal cords, though, is no simple pain. Could feel it tickling at her throat. At first, it felt like she badly needed a cough drop, but then it was more like someone was rubbing wax against her was rubbing hot wax against her throat. Her vocal cords squeeze, twist, reshape in size and tune. Even if the process was seemingly quick, Ina could not help but hold her throat, gasping for air. Hinata, though, once again, was not feeling the extreme effects thanks to Ina's help, though because of Ina's suggestive jutsu, Hinata was actually excited by the effects. As some air breathes out of her breaths, breathes out of her lips. She could hear the slight tonal shift, dampening her lips and letting out a soft whimper, breathing back in. Even if it was all subtle action, Sonata could hear. I used the wrong hear way too many times. Too many times. Also, this does not fit at all. Where's my Xenoblade song? That's really cool. In Xenoblade. Once we part. Even if it was all subtle action, Sonata could hear her new voice developing as each second passed. Beyond a slight tickle in the throat. There was no pain, just a satisfaction. Just satisfaction in knowing she was getting what she wanted. Hinata does not stutter. S-T? Yeah, stutter. Does not stutter. This voice. It was not like that shy one after all. A sound. This voice. Her eyes shine brighter and brighter, like having been awoken for the first time and seeing a beautiful sight. I sound amazing. I can have real confidence like this. One shy girl actually shouts, a bright smile parting her lips as she quickly tosses the flipped cards into the discard pile. Next! Hinata happily sets out the next 4 cards and stares at Ina with utter glee. Come on! Your voice is so fun to use. Flip the next card so I can go already. Had things going according to plan, though even Hanada's enthusiasm was a tad off-putting. Still, she was ready to flip the next card. This would be the final round for sure. Alright, Hanada. If you so insist. Oh, hear this voice now? Maybe you've heard it in your head plenty. It's pretty neat to hear your voice, not all shy. I wonder why you're so confident all of a sudden now. You could talk like I am now anytime you want. You didn't need a different voice to do that. Slam. Hinata had wanted to big her back, but now all she could do is stare in awe of Ino's luck. Another face card was greeting them. Hinata does her best to not drift back into her shyness. Though Ino was clearly right. It was a placebo effect. I can't believe this. You really got another one? On the first turn, too. Looking up to the sky, the clouds were all about to end the girl's little game. Ino had to make the most of the last round. Well, Hinata, let's not drag this on further. I want your body below the neck. I'll take everything left that you have. Ting. That felt better. See? It just felt better. With an evil little grin. The pain shoots along Ino's spine in an instant, though even as drool runs off her lip, Ino stares at Hinata with that same cold smile. She had no reason to block off Hinata's pain now. With that in mind, changes for Ino go rather quickly. Her bones change, her muscles change, her skin tone changes. The changes seem small to anyone else, but Ino could very clearly tell the difference. It was like when she would jump into someone else's body. But this time it had no time limit. Ino's fingers crack and fracture, reforming to Hinata's proper shape. Ino's breasts push a bit against her high neck top, squeezing a bit tightly due to the size being too large. Ino's feet, her toes, her legs, her knees. Legs, knees, and thighs. Everything that she had left of herself was becoming just like Hinata now. Touching a finger to her chest, the size difference was clear. Though not just that, her height had decreased as well. Even if it was only a few centimeters. Ino had been taller than Hinata. It's a bit of awe herself. From completely changing, it was hard for Ino to not sound a bit more like the normal Hinata. My body, with this, maybe I can finally... I can't believe it really worked out. Slam. Hinata flips over the next card with drool from her mouth dripping onto the table. Of course, the card looking at her was just a number card. Part of her was hoping she too could get a face at the end. Groaning in loud pain, Hinata scratches at her chest, even as her breasts sway a little bit. Does not stop them from shrinking ever so slightly. Her muscles and bones then begin to ache. Her height had and creased. But did the pain have to be so terrible? Screaming into the void, Ino even jumps back a tad. If Hinata was too loud, a villager could hear. Hinata punches her fist against the table again and again, making a bloody stain on it. Though much like the face, her hands' skin reforms anyway, to look like Ino's original skin. Why, Ino? Staring at Ino with begging and tearing eyes, Hinata digs her fingernails against the table. This only causes the nails to rip right off her fingers, though. So Ino, nails could paint across those new fingertips. The agony welling in Hinata's far too much. Her clothes felt tight yet loose. Her body felt like it was thrown into hellfire. I can't make it stop. Slamming her head against the table, Hinata falls over to Ino's side, spitting up blood into the dirt. They're just like Ino. Hinata now looks proper for the face she had. Slam. Rather than... Tenten Hinata, the next card is flipped over, and Ino smiles softly, leaning a bit back in her seat. Another face card, right as the moon is blocked out by our friendly cloud. Well, Hinata. That little game was enjoyable, wasn't it? Ino smooths out the back of her skirt and crouches down to Hinata's side. You really did a number on yourself. I was feeling that sort of pain the whole match, but I suppose I could manage it better. How does it feel to have your own voice taunting you now? Ino brushes some of Hinata's blonde hair out of her eyes, chocolate-iced fingertips, healing up Hinata's forehead. Though, I can't have you bleeding all over the place. Your body has been properly changed now. You're now the new Ino. You're the new Ino. Yeah, you're the new Ino. This little jutsu. It's more... permanent. It's more permanent transformation, though it has a few little other features. Groaning softly, Hinata stares up into Ino's eyes. The eyes that used to be Hinata's own. Just processing all the information, though, in her painful state felt hard. What? Ting? I said, I want to share your love for Naruto. Didn't you hear me? The words sounded like Hinata, but it was Ino now. The circle, of course, was complying with the request, still with such a brush of words. Even as Hinata felt something being pulled away from her, it was not lost. Oh, this feels weird. I didn't think it would work with the phrasing. So Hinata, is the new Ino, do you still love Naruto then? I guess it's okay if we both do. Ino slides a finger under Hinata's chin and cocks the poor girl's head up, so they could stare at one another easier. Naruto would choose me first and foremost. Is that the right fourth? I don't know. I feel like it isn't. Whatever. I'll worry about that some other time. I just want love anyway. I don't care what girls he plays around with. What do you say? Want to try and be one of My darling's toys. It could be fun to do, you know. Having Naruto's love to myself, but getting him to take away the girls of our humble village. All the boys ignored me, so having their women all taken by Naruto could be quite the fun. Nana could only stare, horrified by the words coming out of what was her own mouth. No. Tearing up a bit, again, Hinata does her best to get back to her knees, groggily managing to stand herself up against the side of the table. I never asked for this. I only wanted a flower. You're the one. You... Giggling, spins around on her foot and puts a finger to her lips with a nice gleeful smile. Yes, I am the one, aren't I? You agreed to my little game. You were the one who was happy to bet things. You were the one who didn't ask to stop. We kept playing even after you saw me feeling pain. Sure, I said I wanted to keep playing, though you could have just as easily pressed me to stop. Shifting her eyes to her feet, Hinata was unsure what more she could say. Those statements were true. She could not exactly fight them. But you tricked me of how the jutsu worked. What do we even do now? You can't just take over my life. Getting a little heated, Nana grabs at Ina's collar. Her clothes were clearly a bit looser, but tighter at the chest with the changes. Even if our bodies, voices, and even if we changed, I'm still Hinata and you're still Ina. Ina crouches by Hinata's side and sweeps the girl off her feet, right into her arms. Forget the flower. I got what I want already. But you're right, we should switch up our clothes, huh? Jumping away from the scene, hops over the rooftops of the village, heading right back to the Hyuga clan manor. As one of the clan's people, it was simple enough to get past the guards without raising questions, even as she was carrying another girl in her arms. Plop. Dumping Hinata onto her bed, Ina goes right in Nana's closet, throws off her own clothes, and starts to get herself dressed in a new outfit. Oh yeah, these are good. Sheer black thigh highs go up Ina's legs. Black panties to pair with it, black lacy bra to match. You have some nice stuff. Someone so shy. I guess Naruto may like that sort of thing though, huh? Pulling on a pair of gray shorts. Then Ina rummages to the closet till she comes across another high-neck top. Sleeveless and covers the back. Not bad for keeping warm. Little thicker than usually wear. It'll be fine. You have some girly stuff, but something more suited to a ninja. Seems fine for tonight. Maybe I should ask Naruto to go out of the village with me tonight. We could travel around a little, camping under the stars. Can be pretty romantic for some. Ina finishes off her outfit with a brown sash that has a bow at the back. It had the effect of helping support her breast a bit as well, beyond just adding some style. There, cute and practical. And on her stairs, dumbfounded at Ina, who now just looked like an exact copy. You really... But I still look like you. What exactly do you expect me to do now? shrugs her shoulders and grabs at Hinata's shirt, pulling it right off. The girls somewhat wrestle at each other's clothing, Hinata still being weak from not being properly healed, girls somewhat wrestling at each other. Loses. Easily unclasps the shy girls. Brawl leaves her they're topless on the bed. Stop fidgeting around. You need different clothing too, right? That doesn't fit you very well. Takes it upon herself to get Hinata into the bra she had been wearing, just a dark purple one to match with her purple high-neck top. Getting Hinata into both was a slight hassle from her fidgeting around, but manages. There, finally. Guess you can keep the skirt out. With another shrug, sits down by Hinata's closet and grabs out a pair of black open-toe boots, pulling them onto her feet. She stands back up and then picks Hinata right back up into her arms. I believe we're ready to go. The moon slowly shines once again as the drifting clouds break away. The night seemed peaceful and was oddly eventful to a select few. On that dark night, hops across a building. Hops across buildings one after another, with Hinata sniffling in her arms. The girls could swear they passed by Tsunade on a lone bridge, but pay it no mind. What grabs both of their attention is Sakura standing outside of Naruto's door in the dead of night. They watch for a moment. And see Naruto open the door. For Ino and Hinata both, their hearts skip a beat seeing their beloved one. For Ino, it's like craving a poison. Is that not the right spelling? Did I spell it right before and they corrected to the wrong thing? Yeah. I thought I spelled it right before, but then it had like an autocorrect, but now it's saying it's wrong for that one. It's this way. Yeah. For Ino, it's like craving a poison. For Hinata, it was simply desiring salvation and love. So what? So this was the path you picked. The path picked. So this was the path picked. Then I hope you'll repay me for this generous That's the wrong word too. Gen or us. And I hope you'll repay me for this generous curse I gave you. Ina scoffs under her breath, jumping down from the rooftop. Sending Hinata down, she helps the girl stand and slowly walks with her toward who she believes to be Sakura. Well, what exactly did you want from me? I'll do whatever, as long as it doesn't get in the way of my plans. It's simple. You're my Byakugan princess. You'll be very important in time.
You need not do anything that different from your plans. Honestly, the only thing I request is to make that man your own. With the blood in your body now, combined with his, will create quite an interesting child. That's the right quote, right? I had the wrong one. Yeah, that's the right one. Another scoff from her lips. Ina steps in front of Naruto's door. Now 3 girls are standing in front of the war hero's door in the dead of night. One still sniffling, one grinning away, and one staring hopeful. Though really, Ina had to grin, did she not? After all, the girls beside her were only toys at best. Naruto, it's a bit cold, so if you don't mind, could we all come in for a bit? End scene. Perfect. I think I might have actually shortened it. Ironically. Usually I increase the length, but I think I shortened it a little bit. No, I didn't. But I can think what I want. I think I can actually post this now, though. Where was that? Okay. I guess I just upload this as is. Hopefully it all fits. I don't know if it all fit. This doesn't all fit. I'm gonna be angry. Or at least moderately upset. Okay, it's still good. It's still good. I can submit it. Ugh, this is the first story I've submitted in a while. It feels good. It feels good. Gotta go to my gallery and make sure to link that the first part was another one. Wow, that was back in October. I did write stories before then, but that was like one of the bigger ones that are out before then.
Here's my advanced options. Wait, do they not let you hyperlink things now? Oh, wait. There it is. I found it. We're safe. I just need these here. Card game. Gore. Village, hidden in the... No, they don't have that location. I'll say it's mature content, I guess. Moderate violence and gore. It's only moderate violence and gore. Just a little bit. It's okay. Okay, I think that's all good. Submit. I actually posted a story. I think the world might end, but I'm not sure. The world could possibly end. Update. Okay, I actually uploaded a story. It's finally over. Okay. Now we can start the next story. I don't think I'm going to immediately go into anything. I think for right now, I finished up that proofread in like 2 hours and 30. I guess for 10 pages, that makes more or less sense. I think I will end things here then. Go make... Well, I might not make dinner right now. I'll probably wait a little bit. I got D&D later. Well, hopefully the next story I start will go a bit faster. That's the hope. And then I can actually start on Xenoblade 2, is the hope. And actually have it like regularly scheduled throughout the week. Though that might be starting next week. I want to try and catch up on the story that I'm supposed to write for some patrons. I want to try and finish one right away, and then get on to the next one. That's a bit longer. We'll see how that goes. I have some caption stuff I want to do too. There's a few things we gotta do. Either way, for right now, I think we are done with that. So, we'll be peacing out for now. For anyone who came to watch. Thank you people for watching and hearing me do random voices and stuff for me proofreading my stuff and editing it. Hopefully the next story I do will be done in like 3 streams. That'd be a good thing. I don't know, it's like Wednesday today, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Hopefully I can get the story done by Saturday, and then I can actually start Monday with Xenoblade 2. That would be a good plan. But the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry. So, that. Anyways, I'm gonna go, so, bye, and stuff. Be back later, and things. Catch you later.